We've got the staff.csv file into our project, our debug folder, and now we want to read that into our program. Now remember, this is in a particular structure, and the structure is it's got fields and it's got records and it's a table. So we need to construct that data structure in our program, and we're going to use a class. To create a class, right click on records, add new item, class, and we're going to call this class staff record, because that's what we're creating. It's a staff record. So we're going to create a staff record and we're going to add that. Now if you from previous video, staff has 3 columns: a name, age, and active. So there's actually 3 things that we need to create, and then we'll start adding these data in later. But we need to create these columns or these fields. So to create a field, there's an easy way and there's a hard way. I'm wondering whether I should show you the easy way or the hard way. I think I'll show you the longer way because it's better in the long run. So the first thing I'll do is I'll create some private fields. I'm going to create some private fields. I'm going to create name, private, age, and you know what? I think that's all I'll do. I won't do the active. I won't load that into our program. I'll just load these 2, and you can add active yourself as part of your exercise. And then what I'll do is I need to now expose it as a public thing, because I'll close it a public thing. So bear with me. You'll understand it as I go. I'm going to go public property, a capital name. Oh, sorry, these private ones should have an underscore because VB is case sensitive. It will get confused. And we should give it a data structure as string, and this is as integer. All right. There seems to be a clash in read only. Yeah, okay, anyway. So name as string, and we're going to go get. All right, type get, press enter. It generates all of that for you. So here's the deal. This is what we're dealing with, and this is like a door, an interface, if you will. Not really an interface, but it's like a doorway into these memory spaces. So these are the memory spaces. These are not memory spaces. They're like a doorway to control what goes in and out of this. So this is the doorway for this one. So get means whatever's inside here, I want to get it from here. So I'll go return underscore name. All right. So when I type when I refer to this, I'm grabbing it from here. I'm grabbing it from some internal one. Now, the reason why we do it like this is it's called encapsulation. It's a object-oriented concept. It's kind of advanced for a little bit more advanced than what a year 12 would need to know, but it does help with everything else. So let's just bear with us and just follow. If you want more clarification, you can ask me directly. Over here, value, I'm going to go name equals value. So set a particular value, goes into this memory field. All right. So we want to do that for age as well. Public property age as capital, as integer, and then get, just press enter. Type get, press enter, everything is generated for you, and just follow the exact same thing except it's underscore age here, and this is underscore age equals value. All right. Lastly, I need to create a constructor. A constructor helps you generate records quicker, and I'll show you why we need one. You don't really need one. I'll show you why it's helpful later when I actually start using this record. So first, let's create a constructor. To create a constructor in Visual Basics, it's public sub new, and then our constructor takes in 2 parameters, which is our name by val name as string, and by val age as string. All right, and finally when we put some information in here, we need to store it into name and age. So me.name is really this me.name, which is this. We do that, and me.age do that. Alright, so let's try and explain what's happening. There's a lot to take in there. Alright, so these properties, name and age, they're kind of like, if I was to drag in a button, and you can see all of these properties here, like text, tag, and all that. Well, those properties, I'm actually creating them here. I've created an object called staff record, just like there's an object called button, and the button has a text property. Well, this staff record has a name property, and this is just the internal location where you actually store the name. This is the property, which is the thing that you see when you program, right? This thing is a constructor. You'll see that in action very soon. All right, so this is pretty much how we create a record. Internal memory spaces, then we expose name and age, and then we use this thing to put information into these things. All right, you'll bear with me. So let's go back into our form. I'll delete that button, don't need that button. I'm going to double click in and get a form load up, and what I'll do is I'll create a list of records. So what I'll do is I'll go dim, let's call it staff as a list of staff records. Staff record, beautiful. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a few records into staff. So the way we do it is we go staff dot, let's copy exactly what we have in this. Let's copy that. So what I want to do is I want to create this. I want to create this using our record here. Now I'm supposed to load it from the file, but I want to show you how we actually create it without loading from the file first. So we go staff.add. Okay, so we need to create a record first. So we're going to go dim record equals to new staff record. I need to delete that for now. And open bracket. And look at this. You notice here there's name and age here. This is the constructor. This thing is this thing. So if I didn't have this, I couldn't do this. I couldn't go hem and then put my age in as 14 straight away. And then what I can do now is just go staff.add the record. See, if I didn't have the constructor, this is what I'd have to do. All right, if I didn't have the constructor, I'll have to go record. These two lines of code would extend further to new staff record. I have to create a new record, which doesn't exist. But anyway, bear with me. It would exist if I didn't create this custom one. And also this doesn't work, so I'll just turn these off. I would have to create a new record. I'd have to then go record.name equals hem, and then record.age equals 14, 15, because that's how old I am. So you notice here the difference. The constructor allows me to construct these things without having to write it individually and putting these things in memory. Now you notice here name and age. I go record.name and record.age here. This name and age is this name and age. So what's happening is I go .name equals hem. So this thing gets the hem, value hem, and stores the hem into this thing. So this is just a doorway, and this gives it a look. This is where hem will live, and this is where the number 14 will live. This thing is this thing to save me from writing these. If I had like 5 things, I'd have to go record dot, and that's annoying to write. So that's the reason why we use constructors. You don't have to use them, but that's the reason. It makes putting data in much quicker. I can put another record, so I can create another record. So then I can go record, just reuse the record. because I'm going to make a new one anyway. And the next one is Carol, and whatever the age is, 53, wasn't it? And then staff.add, and just add that record. I've replaced the data, so this record has changed, and this is our table. Let's actually look at this table in code. So look at this table in code. I'll just end it there, run it, and let's have a look at what this thing looks like in memory. Let's run there's an issue here. Oh, right. The object cannot be set to insert. Oh yeah, so I need to actually go equals new list of staff records, I think, and that's it. I need to allocate memory space. I've told it how big it is, but I actually haven't prepared the memory space for it. So I need to go to write that. Let's try that. Okay, good. Now let's have a look at what's inside staff. So over here is staff. Let's have a look. There's 2 indexes, 2 rows, 2 records. Each record has a name and an age. And this is the name and age that you see, and this is the internal memory that these things actually live in. So they're the internal private memories. So you can see 2 there, but really this is where it's located. This is what you kind of see inside here. It's like a window. This is a window to that. Okay. And there you go. This is a record. This is a table of records basically. Now we don't actually want to load the records in like that. We actually want to load it from file. So we need to read in the CSV file. Let's have a look at our time. We're on 12 minutes. I think I'll run it for another video.